What are the best RC cars released this year? 2023 saw a lot of new cars and trucks released, but only a handful represent the cream of the crop in terms of power, size, performance, and value. So what are those cars? Well, let's find out. This is the top 10 RTR cars of 2023. Number 10. Starting us off is the BL2S Traxxas Slash, and I know it's not necessarily new, it's an update on an older car, but just hear me out, because for one, Traxxas has updated the truck with the latest clipless body fastening system. It's been equipped with the heavy-duty upgrade kit, they've added on adjustable steel turnbuckles, and it's still brushless for $269.99. This is absolutely one of the best ways to get bashing, and there's never been a better value-packed Slash to do it with. And this latest Slash generation is the most refined yet. Traxxas has also given the BL2S treatment to some of the Stampede and Rustler trucks for all the same great platform enhancements, but on more monster truck platforms. Either way, all these platforms are great choices and some of the best RC cars when it comes to finding replacement parts and aftermarket accessories. Number 9. If you're a fan of realistic looking RC cars, the Red Cat Custom Hauler might be for you. Featuring a licensed 1953 Chevy Co-Body, hauling truck bed, detailed interior, and LED ready lights if you want to add them later. The hauler can be used as is or use it as a starting point for your creative project because it's a great RC choice for putting hours in at the bench with scale detailing and custom personalization. If you're just into driving it, the hauler is also a fully operational RC with a bed size to carry a 10 scale on-road car like the RC Lowrider, your prize drifter, or a delinquent repo job. Now for a clean getaway, the custom hauler is equipped with a solid rear axle, aluminum oil-filled shocks, and a 550 size brushed motor system. So rip it up and down the neighborhood solo or do it proper and drive it around loaded up. One of the coolest things about the hauler though is the optional lift kit, which allows you to raise and lower the truck for loading and unloading, and it's super rad. Considering the hauler is $550, it better be. Number 8. World Rally fans will recognize this car. It's the 2023 M Sport Ford Puma rally car coming in at our number 8 spot. And this is one of the more realistic cars released this year, looking absolutely gorgeous. Now it starts with an officially licensed Ford Puma 1 WRC body, featuring a full sticker decal livery with a sprinkle of injected molded detail parts like the side mirrors and rear wing. Even the tires have been recreated properly for that realistic look, and they look great under the body. The whole aesthetic package for the M Sport looks and feels great, and it's refreshing to see a new RC rally car released with a body other than a Subaru. Although if you like Subarus, the WR8 Subaru might be the most tank-like rally car you can buy, but that's old news and it's not on this list. So for 2023, the M Sport is the finest rally car released in terms of looks, realism, and rally performance. With a 4x4 shaft-driven drivetrain, a 3mm thick aluminum chassis, and gear differentials. Of course, the M Sport also comes equipped with brushless electronics for the price of $460. Number 7. Guys, do you hear that? That's the sound of nature not yet conquered. Because when it's time to get outside, hit the wilderness, and forge a path, the VS410 from Vanquish is how you do it. And it's one of the most refined and robust rock crawlers out there, now in ready-to-run form. The VS410 Ready to Run is also available with either portal axles or straight axles if you have a preference. Both trucks come equipped with a 6.5% front overdrive. They both can be configured with an optional dig unit, and they both include a 4-channel transmitter to do it. They're not necessarily fast trucks, but climbing over rocks is a slow job, and the included brushless systems keep power smooth with the 3S LiPo compatibility. There's also a few different body styles available in a few different colors, and there's also kits if you want to build them. Right now, the cheapest VS410 is the 4Dice, and some would say that it has a face only a mother could love, but for $399.99, Papa loves it too. Number 6. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say it, but the next truck in our number 6 spot is one of the best RCs in the world for just bashing it out. It's the Outcast 4S BLX V2. Although technically I think it should be called the V3 because the first trucks had the short chassis, the V2s had a longer chassis, and now these V3s had a center diff. What are you gonna do, man? These 4S trucks, though, represent one of the best unions between power and weight, matching a 4S brushless system with a lightweight plastic-based chassis sized in between 10th and 8th scale. Some would say it's the Goldilocks zone, delivering extreme power to generate extreme reactions. It's called a stunt truck for a reason, because wheelies, rolls, and flips aren't even a challenge. If you want a challenge, the Outcast is also available in the big and heavy 8S BLX variety, and then there's also the 6S BLX version for some good middle ground. But for me, my money's on the 4S version, which is ready to run for $450, now updated to V3. I mean V2. It's V2, it's totally V2. Number 5. Is that thing real, bro? Because that is one stunning truck. It's the Traxxas TRX4 High Trail Edition, and it's your quintessential big lifted truck, and it drives the part. It looks the part, and it's every bit as awesome as you imagine. Now for starters, it looks incredible. That's the first and main point of the truck that pulls you in, thanks in part to the officially licensed 1979 Chevy K10 body that's been detailed with a proper grille, headlights, wipers, side mirrors, and more, and also thanks to the clipless body fastening system that keeps it all super clean. Another part is the factory installed long arm lift kit that not only gives an extra inch of ground clearance over the standard truck, but it raises the body up just enough where those larger tires can be used. So you get the trifecta with the High Trail. You get big tires, tall stance, and a beautiful big truck. The TRX4 chassis underneath is your standard configuration, and it offers portal axles, selectable 2-speed transmission, and selectable locking and unlocking diffs for $550. Number 4. The next truck is another RC that looks every bit realistic, but it adds loads more speed, performance, and a plush suspension. This is the new Baja Ray 2.0 desert truck. Now, too often, RC cars are made to look really cool, but they're a disappointment to drive. But that is not the case with the Baja 2.0, because it's designed similar to a real desert truck, and it drives like one too. Now this truck features an independent front suspension with a solid rear axle and a trailing arm rear suspension with a sway bar, double shocks at each corner with a long travel oil-filled suspension. The suspension is also tuned pretty soft, primed for excessive body roll, squats, and speeding through those whoops. Any low traction environment is going to be dialed for the Baja Ray 2.0, but high traction conditions are quite the opposite. I mean, it is a desert truck, so it works the best the way it's intended, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Now, there are 2 different body styles for the Baja Ray 2.0, both officially licensed and both including LED lighting with the Ford Raptor option and the old school F100 for $530. Number 3. Next up is what could be the most ultimate hardcore basher on this list, for all environments and for all conditions. And it currently holds the biggest footprint of all 6S BLX vehicles from ARMA. Some would call it Bigfoot, others just call it the Big Rock 6S BLX. And this is one of the best RCs for people with aggressive driving styles. Because the truck has a wide stance and long stretched wheelbase, rollovers and wheelies are really uncommon, and instead, the main goal of this truck is to keep it on all fours. So when you smash the throttle, the truck just smashes back. Now, if you enjoy more wheelies and air flips, then maybe the Big Rock isn't for you, but if you have a heavy foot, love to dance the line between control and chaos, and have the wallet to support both, well, then I think the $700 Big Rock 6S is for you. Number 2. For almost all of 2023, trying to find this car has been like trying to catch a leprechaun. It's nearly impossible, but it comes with a pot of gold. So don't give up, dude. Hang in there. Stay persistent. You'll get it. Believe me, it's going to be worth it in the end. This is the RMX 2.5 Drift car, the updated version of the RMX 2.0, but now with a 0.5. And that 0.5 makes a difference. For one, 2.5 is 25% more substantial than 2.0. For second, the 2.5 has received a bunch of revisions, with the big one being relocating the ESC to the rear bumper. They've also relocated the steering servo further back and installed the shorty battery box by default. Many of the upgrades drivers were doing on the old 2.0 car, MST is now doing for you out of the box on the 2.5. And in many cases, the 2.5 is the same price or just a little higher than that same 2.0 car would have been last year. It's a lot of bang for the dollar when it comes to ready-to-run drifting, not to mention the cars drive great. There's tons of different scale realistic bodies to choose from, and there's brushless and brushed cars to choose from too, starting at $299.99. Number 1. Holy lipo crackle, Batman, the number 1 car isn't even a car, but it is one of the biggest things to happen to the RC hobby in a long time. So with your wrist pinned and your knees pinched, let's hail out a double brap salute to the one and only Promoto-MX RC dirt bike from Losi, who stepped it up to create the most realistic RC dirt bike we've ever seen, with features like a working cable-driven front brake, a proper suspension, a real chain drive with metal sprocket, officially licensed graphics, and plenty more. It's just absolutely stunning to look at and admire, and performance is right there too. Now, given the rider is stationary and he can't move his weight around, the bike relies on an internal spinning flywheel that greatly adds gyroscopic stability to keep it upright, and then everything else is business as usual. The bike comes with 3 different riding modes that are selectable with a button on the transmitter that provides more or less riding assistance, more or less wheelie assistance, and then a track mode. I can tell you firsthand though that the bike is a blast to drive for that unique 2-wheel experience, and then it also just tends to turn heads wherever it goes. Everybody wants to know more about the dirt bike. It may not be quite as versatile as a large basher or as stable in rough terrain, but the RC dirt bike is in a league of its own, and there's nothing quite like it. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm Brett with AMain Hobbies, and be sure to get all the info on all these cars with our links down below. And if you want more RC videos, well then check these out.